Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe. Java fan.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, August 11th, 2025. You are in the Java Cafe this morning. Welcome. Today is Monday. We had a Java After Dark last night, and I'm a little bit tired. We had the opportunity to speak with Carlton Buford of Him Incorporated and also Joseph Bennett from Yard Time. And it was a great opportunity to hear from these Black men around their experience as being men, Black men, their journey in reference to the criminal legal system. I didn't say the criminal justice system, the criminal legal system, and just about a lot of the work that both of them are doing in the city of Boston. And Joey, in some extent, regionally, as he's been speaking at different colleges. And so we had the opportunity to speak with both of them last night, and it was great. If you missed it, I suggest you go back and listen to it and watch it. We've been curating a lot of conversations with Black men around mental health, around health, around having confidence, around being vulnerable. And so in that space this morning, mental health, we're still going to stay as we've been doing for next month will be 5.5 years of coming into the space on Mondays and checking in on our mental health. And so I'm going to ask you to do me a favor this morning. Do me one favor. Please remember to like and subscribe to Java with Jimmy on all platforms. TikTok, I'm going to get back on there. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. And don't forget, you can like and subscribe James W. Hills as well, where a lot of activity is going on there. So again, welcome to the Java Cafe. And we're going to ask you in a couple of seconds to begin to put your word in the comments that describes how you're feeling this morning based on your mental health. Some of you that are veterans, we're going to go say hi in a second. To those of you that understand and know that we do this every Monday. So do me a favor. Don't just listen to me say this, but real quick, hit that share button. When it pops up, say, hey, join us in the Java Cafe, hit share and come right back. All right, let's start off with our hellos this morning. Mama Java is in the room. Good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Janky Donna. I think we're going to change Donna's name to Janky Java. Donna's new name, y'all, is Janky Java. And that's just our thing. When tech is janky or there's spelling or something, Donna would hit me and say, something's janky. And so that's our thing. Donna, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Also, good morning to Pastor Marion this morning. Good to see you in the room this morning as well. Danielle Moore, we've been communicating online about some things. I think in the mental health space and relationships. It's good to see you in the room this morning. Also, Sister Debbie is in the room. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Pastor Sharon Cornelius. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. And so those of you that are here this morning so far and over also to Frechetta Victor that was over on Instagram. Good morning to you as well. Do me a favor, those of you that are in the room this morning, put one word in the comments to let us know how you're feeling in the mental health space this morning. And also we'll share some of the information about the event that I got to attend yesterday while you all are putting your words in the comments. Brother Jamal Wernham, for the past, I think the first one was in 2018. He had his first event, maybe before that, but Jamal Wernham is a brother from Roxbury that is doing some great work in the community. And yesterday he had his One Love Community Give Back event. And it was amazing. This young man took over the field across from the Kroc Center. Just about every area in the perimeter of the soccer field was filled with everything from a barber's corner, a healthcare provider was there. They had a vendor giving away sweets. They had a vendor giving away slushes. They had a vendor giving away custom made candles. You went over and made your candle right there. Who else was there? There were games, there were giveaways. DJ Mastermind was there keeping us entertained. Ari, good morning. Good to see you in the room. And Leash 444 as well on Instagram. They all were there. And then the good brother, Manny Merville from Everybody Gotta Eat, was in the building. I had macaroni and cheese, some type of well-seasoned rice, fruit salad, fried chicken, baked chicken. I'm trying to remember my plate. And I think that macaroni and cheese, I killed the macaroni and cheese. It just was amazing. I also had the opportunity to host this event with Courtney Boston from Woke Woman Radio. And then Danielle Johnson, Miss Hot Sauce, was also in the room as well. And it was good to see her. The only person that was missing yesterday from the 4 Black-owned media outlets within the city of Boston, covers everything, major outlets. There's a lot more, but these 4, we've been talking lately about doing some things. And Marv was the only one from Urban Heat missing yesterday. So it was kind of awesome to see, to co-host with Courtney from Woke Women Radio, to run into Danielle Johnson from Spark FM. And then also I was there as well. So Marv, you was the only one missing, but it was awesome being in company with Jamal. He is a brother who is consistent and serves the community. He does a lot of great work in the sports area as well. And so it was great to be with him yesterday morning. Let's go back into the Java Cafe. I see a couple of people putting comments. A couple of new folks just arrived in the cafe. Milton, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. You all please note that Milton will be with us along with Mario Rodriguez on Thursday night at 8 p.m. here live in the Java Cafe. Literally, the setup I had last night, I'm just going to leave my living room like this until Thursday. So Milton and Mario are coming in to chat with us on Thursday evening about the Cape Verdean 3 block parties that are taking place this Saturday in Roxbury and Dorchester. So please plan to come and be a part of that Java After Dark on this coming Thursday. Mother Lisa Davis is in the room. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Lynette Russell is in the room. Good to see you, family. She said that she is feeling up. The emojis don't show up, but I think that says up. Hold on. Let me look through that first line of my progressive glasses. Up is how Lynette is feeling this morning. Nicole, good morning. Good to see you in the room. For a quick second, I thought I saw you on the field at Jamal's event yesterday. I got ready to run up and I was like, oh, that's not her. I probably would have gotten embarrassed. Good to see you in the room this morning. The Real Boston Media, another one of our media outlets in community here in the city of Boston, is in the room as well. We look forward to seeing them a Friday evening at an event. They're also saying, thank you, the Real Boston Media, for posting this. Sister Charlotte James, good to see you in the room this morning. Good to see you in the room. Seeing your name, I just thought about that post that I put up from the good bishop out of Nashville that was denouncing all the stuff that's going on in the world. And never did he not once denounce his association with Kappas. So, Charlotte, congratulations to you again for crossing over some months ago and also being in a society that believes in community with a lot of people that believe in Jesus in those societies. So good to see you. I can't call you Sora, but you know what I mean. Good to see you in the room this morning. Who else is in the room? Milagro, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Charlotte is also saying hi to Pastor Sharon. Daniel, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. Let me tell you all about this man. This brother does a lot of behind the scenes work in our community in many spaces. You know what he does as far as the music. Some of you may remember he and Shakira from Shakira's Story came in some months ago and shared the curriculum and the movie that DL did that after I saw that clip in that movie, I did not like him. And so he does a lot in community, but he's also a silent storm in the space of unity, in the space of being on code and on code. And so, DL, just wanted to give you some flowers and appreciate you. You all often see that I wear a label called Black Dollar USA. No, sir. Black Dollar, that's our joke. Black Dollar is a brand that does exactly that, promotes, believes in on central things around the Black Dollar, but also the peripheral things. Like if you're not going to participate in certain boycotts and whatnot, don't down them and then discourage other people, namely Target, where we're about $4 billion in their loss of our Black Dollar. Be on code, y'all. We'll talk more about that with DL very, very soon. Lynette, it is so awesome again to see you in the room. Good to see you. Real Boston Media is sharing. I'm scared to see because it's long and it's probably going to be a swipe. Must be a new update. Laugh out loud because I ain't typed that. Damn Allen Iverson playing too much AI. For yo, it. Wait a minute. So it's the folks over at the Real Boston Media understand algorithms and all this other stuff, but you didn't know that Facebook was automatically reporting and commenting that you shared. Y'all must have set that up over there. Pam, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Pam's another one in the background, must be working on something. We haven't seen her that much outside. Also, I know she's recovering. You all please keep her in your continued prayers. But Pam, good to see you in the room this morning. We'll be doing something at your spot this fall. I'll reach out to you about it as soon as I know I got the budget. All right. All right. So our words, all this talking, I think Lynette was the only one that put, oh no, Mama Java put a word in as well. She said that she was tired. They got worn out in church yesterday. My cousin and her husband, I just say my cousins, pastors, Jerron and Conchetta Green, were at the Tabernacle of Praise yesterday. And so Mama Java said that she's tired. Abstract Minor is in the room. Good to see you, sis, over on Instagram as well. The Real Boston Media is saying, Jimmy, I've typed 100 comments before that notification. Yes. Yeah. That notification about the Real Boston Media has shared this has been coming up for the past 3 weeks. So I don't know. That's what happens when y'all are on star status and, you're the Real Boston Media. I know I'm getting cussed out right now. Words. How are you all feeling this morning? Don't make me have to guess how you're feeling this morning in the space of mental health. Again, we have up so far. We have tired. Oh, okay, I see a couple other words. I'm sorry. Sister Debbie said that she is serene, which is awesome. Let me just go back and troll the comments a little more before I get in trouble. Sharon Cornelius will say, Mother Lisa said she is blessed. I was going to say, let me just make sure before Sharon Cornelius types and tells me I said, all right, Real Boston Media, how y'all feeling over there in the mental health space? Since we want to talk about the 100 comments, I'm going to leave that there. Folks that are over on Instagram, IG Igbu Prince 617. These icons, thumbnails I can't see. But good to see you in the room as well as the others. Ari and others that are over on Instagram, put one word in the comments for how you're feeling this morning. I am not trying to get in trouble, Milagro. I'm just, Charlotte James said that she is feeling proud. Tell me why. Was it in reference to what I said or something else? What did one of the kids do? Let us know. Karen, see, I told y'all. I told you all that if I missed Sharon's comment, that she would type. I said, and look, there it is right there in true Pastor Sharon Cornelius form. She's going to let me know that she said that she's okay. All right, Pastor, thank you so much. The Real Boston Media, whenever I'm going to leave you alone since it's Monday. For real, that comment's been popping up on here for weeks. So it is definitely something that is probably AI. Danielle said that she is feeling grateful this morning. I am as well. I'm not going to steal her word. As you all know, I've been pretty even keeled lately. A little bit of ups and downs, but I'm doing pretty good. So my word for this morning, since I'm bothering you all to do it, is actually good. I'm good. One thing I forgot to do this morning that we've been doing pretty well at, and we want to keep this in mind as I get ready to check the weather. The mayor just issued yesterday a heat advisory for today through Wednesday. We know that a heat wave is considered typically 3 days of extreme heat, and today our low is 69. Right now in Boston it is 85 degrees, and the high today is set to be at 91. We are set to be at 90 and above for the next 3 days, today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so please keep in mind that you should stay hydrated. You have to stay hydrated to be healthy. We have a lot of seniors in the room. And so please do that. Also, do your best to keep cool. There are cooling centers. And also, I seen something that Pam wrote, so it's throwing me off real quick. There are cooling centers at the BCYF centers and whatnot, but please stay hydrated. Don't do a lot of exertion if you are outside. Yesterday, and this is the second time it happened, we were in the sun for about 3 straight hours. And when I tell you that toward the end of that, I was exhausted. I hydrated. Jamal had water there. We had slushies. We had fruit salad. So there was some watermelon in there. So we were well hydrated. It was just extremely hot in a big open space. So please keep in mind that the mayor has issued a heat wave for the next 3 days. Stay hydrated. If you fall into an issue and you don't feel well, of course, call 911. If there's an issue with your electricity or anything like that, and you can't operate fans and air conditioners, call 311 and make a complaint. All right. The word brownouts just crossed my mind some years ago when it was so hot and we was using so much electricity. I think it was actually during COVID. The last time we went through that, there was so much electricity being used that they won't admit it, but that's why the term brownouts were used. It wasn't a blackout, it was a brownout because they were purposely giving the generators and the boards or whatever grids a break. So again, heat wave next 3 days. Please keep that in mind and please stay hydrated. I got a whole paragraph from Real Boston Media. Mental health space. I don't know. I feel like my head is above water, but the realization of our real life situations besides myself as a community has been hitting me so much more these past few weeks, specifically with this T app stuff and with the craze with Love Island and other shows like it, mixed reviews about things for me personally. That went through a whole variety of things. So first of all, keeping your head above water, it is interesting. It is interesting. I don't know who exactly is commenting for the Real Boston Media over there, but it is interesting trying to keep your head above water. If you're one of the brothers over there, especially for us, it's interesting. And so, we encourage you to keep on addressing it. Maybe think about getting a therapist. And you can check in with your primary care doctor in order to, maybe get a referral for a therapist, or you can call Pure Spark like that as well. Now, back to the points about oh, Jesus. So I've been hearing about this T app. I've seen posts on social media about another app, about the T app. My understanding is the T app is this place, I believe, for women to go, and they are reviewing pictures that are posted of men. Yeah. And some of the things that I've seen posted on social media, um, speaking of posting, I believe there was a reference on social media that there was a job posting on the T app. And if you're familiar with the T app, a job posting on there can be very interesting. What's being advertised or solicited. So, first of all, our mothers and stuff, don't start asking. Don't leave it alone. Leave it. Better not download it. Leave it alone. Y'all don't need to know anything about it. So, the T app, and then the other piece of that was Love Island and what was the other one? It was the T app in Love Island. Love Island, first of all, I didn't get into it. There was a local brother, I believe, from the Boston area, greater Boston, I believe, is a couple and something like that. Um, they were having watch parties. And I was at an establishment one night and we were chilling. It was a vibe, just us. And then all of a sudden the atmosphere changed. Um, Little freaking palm trees and blow up little drinks and uh 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 um Mardi Gras type little sea ocean inspired stuff was put all over the place. And a whole crowd of people came in, they turned the music off, and they put on Love Island. I wasn't happy. I finished my food and I left. I just wasn't into it. It was a whole big craze. And literally, and that wasn't the only time. Like, I know of 2 watch parties at that place. Other people were advertising watch parties. So I don't know if it was because the young man was from this area or was it really a thing? Love Island? So anyway, Real Boston Media, thank you all over there for answering and participating. I'm looking for some more words from folks. Danielle, to that point of keeping your electrolytes up, definitely do that. Pedialyte, Gatorade, fruit is definitely a part of it as well. Pam said something earlier, so I want to go back to that. If isn't a word, it should be, but I feel like I've been absorbing all the elements. The full moon was no joke. What's good word for all the feels human? Yes. I think that was what you were talking about earlier, Pam. I thought I messed up and said it or made up a word that I am kind of known to do. But yes, they're, without getting into a whole bunch of astrology and all this other stuff, we are influenced by everything from atmospheric pressure to when people say, oh, I can tell it's about the rain or it's about the snow. Oh, they can tell the atmosphere changes. Being out in the sun for 3 or 4 hours, that is good for us with sunscreen and all that stuff. And I got to do better at that. But the process of that vitamin D and just the energy, it makes you tired. The moon piece, Pam, I haven't, outside of seeing it at night in a full moon and whatnot, I haven't felt any energy from the moon. Oh, but the sun, definitely. So I take it to the Bible a little bit. We are earthen vessels. These earthen vessels, and all messing. I don't want to take it out of context, but pay attention to your, surroundings like that. Go outside and walk in the grass. Look at the moon at night. Try to make a sunrise. Stand out on the porch if you can and listen to I'm going to say this old school. Listen to the pattern of the rain coming down. Like for me, when it rains, I'm good. I'd love a good rainstorm. I love a good snowstorm. As long as I got the essentials in the crib, I'm all set. All right. Pam, thank you for reminding us to stay human. Charlotte is thankful, a little early testimony or thankful Thursday. My son delivered a speech at Boston something, University of Entrepreneurs something. I know that is Elder Doolin's thing. He delivered a fundraising brunch. He delivered a speech at the fundraising brunch. I'm so very proud of how much he's grown since middle school. Bullying, anxiety due to COVID, racism, he's overcome a lot. Our motto is resilience, perseverance, and faith. Next chapter, college. That's what I'm talking about. Brag on your baby. And I've got to, from afar, see all 3 of them excel and do things in community. Good morning to Miss Teresa in the room. Good to see you in the room this morning. Charlotte is asking, are you going to talk about the elephant? Charlotte, that was one of them comments I wish I saw before I read it on screen. So, a few things, and I had a conversation in reference to the mayoral race yesterday. This is a platform that shares information, makes us aware, mainly rooted and started, in COVID and health, but also electoral politics, also resources and things that can help improve our lives. That's the root and the foundation of this platform. Have we crossed into a space of media? And I'm going somewhere with this. We are media, but have we crossed into a place because of sharing information, making our community aware? We do have elected officials, cabinet members, chiefs in this space for the purpose of information. Full transparency, a little purpose these next few weeks is going to, anyway, to address what Charlotte said about the elephant in the room. On Friday, when Brother Calvin was on, if you all watched, there was a moment where I got off camera because Calvin had mentioned something that made me emotional. So a few minutes later, I looked down at my phone and I could tell that my phone was active. I just presumed it was people, hey, checking on you, making sure you're okay, you need a hug, things like that. When I got off and I opened the phone, there were links to the indictment, different news outlet links and whatnot. And I sat there, and I know I wasn't the only one. A lot of people in our community are probably feeling the sentiment that I'm about to describe. I sat there and my first thoughts were, excuse me, oh shit. Second one was, I just hugged him on Tuesday. My third thought was, damn. These allegations are serious. And I will say that there is a process when allegations like these come up that we have to go through. I will also name that the process sometimes probably is potentially in his and others that are active, and will often be skewed by the level of melanin in said person who's being accused case. That was another thought. Another thought was, not at that point, but just grace. And we can have grace and accountability. And the sister knows I love her, and I've, talked about it. And same reference to when I talked about, one of our sisters that was an elected official as well. We can have grace and accountability at the same time. And so I know many in our community are bewildered, struggling, praying for, and there for support. And that's really all that I have to say about it, Charlotte. I actually thank you, because a few people have privately said, are you going to talk about it? You're going to cover this? And let me be very real with you all about two other points. In the conversation I had yesterday, it was presented to me that, you with this platform, have to be balanced and you're a spokesperson and things like that. But what I said to that person was, there are certain people that while you can hold them accountable, and this is just me, I might lose some likes or subscribers from this, and I really don't care. I will not, with intention, in fear of the fact of someone coming into this space and spewing or has spewed hate, racism, xenophobia. I'm really not trying to give you any platform to come and cap for that which I can document that you've said. The other piece about the platform is that when it comes to things like this within our Black community, I'll just surmise it as grace and accountability. And often there would be more grace applied in the public platform and then accountability in private. That's my statement on this elephant to which Charlotte pointed and others. So thank you all for listening to my Java talk. Sister Dina, I don't know what the T app. Oh, Jesus, that's a switch. Y'all don't know what I go through sometimes sitting up here trying to flip and get thoughts together. Dina said, I don't know what the T app is, but I can assume we have to start entertaining these kinds of. Come on, Dina. We have to stop entertaining these kinds of things and figure out how we get our teens and adults interested in better apps and programs. Joey and Carlton talked about that last night, specifically in the space of violence prevention and influence. And folks from the Real Boston Media and I have had conversations about where we are as a people, as a society, with the ability to take life at any. I mean, that's been in our society since biblical days. But times are changing and have changed and are still changing. And it is without the proper intent. Let me reframe that. Anything that we use that a human has access to utilize can either go for good or bad. When it comes to social media and a lot of the propagation of a lot of ratchetry and negativity and things like that, because it is so quick and thanks to the internet, before it would take weeks for rumors. That was the pace at which we would hear about things. And by the time, somebody passed a note in school in the rumor mill, it moved like that back in the days. A fight would brew for 2 weeks when you would hear things and you said something, or you finally, had that certain block that you had with that person together. That's how things went back in the day. Then as the internet came, the beefs, the information, the misinformation, the lies, the gossip and whatnot, that's how it's going now. And so the intensity and density of all of that happening at one time has a huge influence. And because our young people are still at an age that we found out the past couple of decades that the second period, I believe there's now reportedly 3 periods of frontal lobe activity. Most of it is in your childhood, I believe from 0 to 5. Then you have another period in your early teens. And then I believe I saw something the other day that talked about that period of about 21 to 23. When you were in that second stage and in this era of smart devices, customized internet, some of our parents now put an iPad in front of our 2-year-olds and they can know how to get to I was going to say Moo the Clown. I don't know who that is. That's just somebody I made up. They can navigate. They make a mistake and they get to the wrong link. At a 5, 6, 7, 18, tween year, that becomes interesting. So, this piece about society, and I'm thinking about this in real time and analyzing this in real time, this piece about where our society is going is heavily influenced by the access to a lot of things on social media that do not promote holistic life. Can we frame it like that, Dina? Whew, that just made me tired. All right. Some other comments. Miss Teresa said I could have made that shirt, I know. This was when I was this is from my Miami days. I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm curious to hear the Real Boston Media's thoughts on this. That's what I mean, laugh out loud. It just feels like there's something wrong. Laugh out loud. I can't put my finger on it. It feels like it's fixed to throw people off their emotional stability, including the apps as well. And it's just making me feel a way that there could be a possible attack on our people. I don't know. Laugh out loud. I could be wrong. I don't think that this is, we're in this space of mental health on Mental Health Monday. Let's go there. I don't think that the Real Boston Media, what they're proposing is wrong. The only thing that I can go back to is back in the days about rap music. Those labels, those executives did not enjoy, generally speaking, rap music. It was about the dollar and the money. And also, some of them, unfortunately, knew the psychology, and some of the propagating and promotion of a lot of these negative messages have contributed to some of our cultural change in society. And so now it gets into the conversation of our ear gates, our eye gates, and what we consume. Some years ago in my media literacy class, we learned that the brain loves new information. The brain, unfortunately, from an information standpoint, prefers a horrific scene post a shooting on the ground. I was going to say it, blood on the ground and whatnot, because in real, what did I say? I just thought about this. Y'all are helping me this morning. I said a few minutes ago that now we're in a society that when the internet is going like this and has that information and things like that, guess what? That's exactly how the brain wants and consumes new information. The brain is constantly looking for something new to process. My point is that when it comes to negative imagery, when it comes to negative stories and whatnot, unfortunately, we don't know the outcome. And so we get into a sunken place of fights and misinformation and whatnot, because the facts are the facts. There's no new information there. The brain is like, yeah, we know that. Yeah, that's fine. We want to see the things that move quickly, that unfortunately, in some of the moving quickly stuff, especially when it comes to information, it tends to be on the negative side. The positive stuff, it's a standard, it's a flow. The brain knows what's going to happen. You see a graduation, you're going to see the family, you're going to see flowers, you're going to see tears, you're going to see somebody walk across the stage, you might see somebody dance a little bit, and then there's the pictures of them after. At a wedding, you're going to see the wedding, you're going to see the gown, you're going to see the mother cry, the people walk down the aisle. The brain knows that stuff. Unfortunately, the way the brain is, and this is what the professor was talking about, the way the brain is set up, it wants just new, quick, that pace. And so, y'all got me way out here on this Mental Health Monday. Thanks, Real Boston Media and Charlotte and Dina. Anyway, I'm tired. The mommy Romaine, good to see you in the room. Oh, Pam, I missed something Pam said. Where we at? Or was it about the human piece? Sometimes I got to go back when y'all give each other compliments. Back to what Pam is saying again, just if it isn't a word, which Pam, did you okay, now I'm catching up. Pam said absorb. The only reason why I'm laughing, Pam, and this goes to a point I was getting ready to make, or I was already made. Absorbent, yes, is a word. Only thing is, my first thought is, was it Bounty? The quicker picker upper? Absorbent. I'm thinking about that. Pam, yes, that is a word. That is a concept to which we need to pay attention. When I just talked about the eye gate, the ear gate, and how we consume information, what we observe and what we absorb through information. There is information that goes on in the background when we're sleeping or when we're doing subliminal, that whole concept. We absorb a lot. And so, Pam, to your point, yes, it's a word. And let me just go back a little further to make sure we get full understanding in this. Yes, it is a word. And the other part you said was something about humanity. Oh, Angela Elizabeth is in the room. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, sis. Good Godspeed with everything going on in a couple of weeks with the choir and the, I'll call it regional worship team that Angela Elizabeth is doing for an event coming up the end of this month. All right, I can't find Pam's other comment. Let me catch up with some more, and then we're going to get ready to wrap up. Dina said that, hold on, it didn't work. People, no matter stature, will abuse power, and unfortunately, it happens way more often than we know. It does, less when it comes to us, but I'm not capping we can't talk about things like this without talking about just how the system, there is a variation in how they handle people that are lighter than me. You know, that's all. I can't get the darn that of this color right here. Anyway, Dina said, I get it. I'm telling you all now, the comments are a little bit behind, especially if I gave long commentary. So I'm catching up. I get it. Times are very hard and uncertain and scary. So people look for things to laugh at and take us away from our lives, but there has to be better things. There does. And to this point of absorbent, what the Real Boston Media said about an attack, I'll just frame it like this as we get ready to wrap up. We have to be intentional about what we absorb, because there is an attack on our mental health. There's an attack on our value. There's an attack on our history. And so without getting too deep, beat Mental Health Monday. Let's stay in it. Be very aware and careful about the information you allow yourself to consume. Hold on. It obviously means that we have been on here for a while, and Alexa today scared the living crap out of me. All I heard was a voice, and it echoes a little bit because I have a couple of what do you call them? Alexas, the echoes. So it echoes sometimes. So all I heard was Milagro. I'm sure you enjoy that. All right, where was I getting ready to go? Be very intentional about what you absorb through reading, through listening, and scrolling. That can be very influential on your filters. Part of the reason the foolishness of them red hat wearing cultish type people is because on one day they got in one sunken place and influenced their thinking. And then the next day, and I probably need to do a show on this around somebody that understands not only the algorithms, but a psychologist that is a social media expert. Because the algorithms, when we talk about this absorbency, and it's not just the young people, when I said a few minutes ago, they are the most influenced by where we are because of that second stage of their frontal lobe development. But us that are past the third stage and our frontal lobe has developed, and outside of some senior type challenges to keep us going, we're good. Or some of us too. So it has an influence. Algorithms, we are in a new day, you all, in a new society with all this AI and things going on. So these type of conversations are real. Some people will say, well, that's not, relevant and you're going too deep and whatnot. No, I'm not. Some of y'all are in here every day. It's an influence. Thank you. And my intent is to influence well. But the fact that some of you are here every day proves my point. And so we have to be intentional about what we absorb, the algorithms, and then how we aftercare or whatever. So I'm out there. I'm tired. We're going to get ready to wrap up because this y'all had me all the way in, and I'm scared to look at the rest of the comments. Miss Teresa said the intention of the internet social media was created for greater good. Humans made it harmful and bad. Listen, mentor of mine some years ago made this comment. What's up, Latosh? That whenever you give something to humans, it gets corrupted. Jesus left the church to us. And it unfortunately, the structure, infrastructure, and some things are corrupt. So Miss Teresa said, I put my mental health word in feeling in. Oh, feeling in. Miss Teresa, make me understand. Whew, I'm really tired and got hungry. So that means that we way out there. To respond to the comment about programs, it's similar to how We reacted to mandatory health class in high school. We went because we had to go, not because we wanted to. So though it's important and can be helpful to have programs that are actually beneficial, like I said, it's going to be like health class. I'm only here so I don't get fired. I guess Real Boston Media, that goes back to my point that eventually something will get through. I enjoyed health class. Interesting, because I ended up working some years in medicine. But there were some people that were not. There's still some things that I learned in health class that stick with me today about germs, washing your hands, condoms. It made me open to family planning and whatnot. So the hope would be that, because either way, you're going to be influenced. So I guess it goes back, and with the not just, I'm going to stop saying young people, because some of us old heads, humans, do better if we are intentional about, and as I talked on Tuesdays, of test and expansion. And again, a little bit of grace to our young people, because they're still developing. They still don't have all the skills to make proper decisions. So you got to give them some grace. Back to grace and accountability. We got to hold ourselves. Some of our young people are out there all the way in social media, because the truth is that we weren't monitoring them. We gave them too much liberty, and we didn't keep an eye on them phones, and we didn't track them, and we didn't limit. Sorry, that's the uncle in me coming out. Vaughn, my good brother, good to see you in the room this morning. Miss Teresa said, you showing off that you can snap loudly. No, I'm not. Leave me alone. Charlotte said on a lighter note, so I'm scared to see what this is going to say. It's probably a joke. Hold on. On a lighter note, I'm ready for football. Okay. All right. In this football season, football is not just football when it comes to the Patriots, and I'll just leave that there. Okay. Sandra, good morning. Good to see you in the room this morning. Mother Elizabeth. Mother Angie said, we absorb, but we don't digest well. Oh. Now you're getting in some media. Angie, come. Now you're getting into some media literacy. It's like processed food. Angie, come through. Come through. Dina said, the things we watch and listen to day after day shapes our brains. Thank you, Dina. Charlotte says that I tell my kids all the time, don't be a sponge for everyone else and you're ignoring your own well-being. Absolutely. The Real Boston Media is saying exactly what she said. I completely understand. Laughing, smiling, distracting ourselves from the pain and stress is normal these days, but it's just hitting extreme levels, to the point that Dina was saying about some of the entertainment. Listen, I find some, unfortunately, whatever, we're humans. I find some ratchetry entertaining at times. If I told y'all right now that Summer gets on my nerves, Lex, she's pretty and just, I like some of her persona, but she's on the low key bully. Rolly looks amazing since she went through all her surgeries. Some of you all have no idea what I'm talking about. I enjoy a little bit of ratchery TV. I'm not going to tell y'all what, but if you know any of those three names. Anyway, so I get it on that piece. But to Angela's point about digesting, do I sometimes cringe when I watch the stuff? I'm like, Jesus, I'm watching this and contributing to something in our society? That's a little bit of the process and filtering. And so I get what Dina said, but I also understand what the Real Boston Media is saying. And then to add to Angela's piece, it's like processed food, which isn't good for us. It fulfills a desire and quick need for a moment. But then what your body has to go through to get the little nutritional value that comes out the processed food is for naught. And then you're left with a messed up body. And I guess on a macro level, since y'all got me out here, the individuals is the processed food And unfortunately, the way we as a people and society are processing it, it's leaving the body of humanity sick. All right. I'm getting ready to wrap up because that felt like a little preach. Escapes are fine, but escapes can recharge, not to lose yourself on core in the distractions. And I feel like we are losing ourselves in what's supposed to be a temporary distraction. Real Boston Media, I'm feeling, I got to say it, and y'all got me out there. I think people like you and I that understand this also have to be very careful, because what you're seeing right now, because of the space that you all, and I don't, whoever's commenting, because of the space that you all move in, you have a different lens. And so back in that mental health space, you got to be sure that the very thing that you're talking about is not doing the same thing to you. So y'all done got me way out here, Jesus. It's 10:55. We're going to get ready. Oh, there's a lot of comments. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap up. I said I felt a little preach. Oh, my brother's in the room. It's just about spreading awareness. That's the point, man. That so to Angela's point about how we process it, this is why you need counter medias, black-owned media, with the intent. And some of our black-owned, entertains and moves in the ratchery and stuff like that. That's fine. But we got to balance it out and then know how to process it. So Joey, thank you for that. Miss Teresa said mental health words. We're thankful, grateful, blessed family. If you know, you know. You like that? Yes, I do. You like that? I mean, I like that. Milagro said, yes. Oh my God. Parents need to limit them apps for teens. Absolutely. Beaver is in the room. Lucretia Gross. Beaver is in the room. I'm late, but good morning, everyone. Don't forget to follow. I was going to say the let out. The flow, the takeover, the flow. She cooks and eats on camera and is doing quite well. I looked at one of her numbers one day. I said, go ahead, Beaver. Charlotte says she can't with the ratchet. I realize that I'm 53. And even at 23, my nieces and nephews, I used to joke and say it wasn't that my sisters told them, wait till I tell your father. It was wait till I tell your uncle. I've always been like that, little hardcore militant when it comes to my nieces and nephews. And, all of that to say, to Charlotte's point, I a little bit of the ratchery, and I forgot where I was going, why I brought up the nieces and the nephews. But a little bit of the ratchery is we're humans. I was going to make a good point around that ratchet piece. Charlotte, you messed me up a little bit. The Real Boston Media, we're going to get ready to wrap up, folks. I know you ain't talking about, huh? I know you're not talking about baddies right now. Laugh my ass off. I'm going to leave you alone because I told you how I feel about that show. Dina is saying most adults can watch ratchet TV and know it's all fake or just for TV, but the younger generation want to mimic the TV and social media, clout chasing. And that's not disparaging on young people. The only term that I can remember was do it for the gram. And what I mean by that is it's keep what we see going on now is a 21st century demonstration of keeping up with the Joneses. And it's coming with by any means necessary. And it's coming with such an intense and dense manner with any and everything that our young people are dealing with. And you all got to also remember that this generation are either we're now at a point that we're tapping in, and I've stopped saying this for some years because I just have, not for no particular reason. But some of these young people are the great grandkids and the grandkids of the crack epidemic. And what I mean by that is not despairing anyone or anything that anyone has dealt with substance use and recovery and getting out of that. There was so much that impacted our community from that, from grandparents raising the kids, and they didn't have the ability to discipline them because they were 60 years old trying to raise a 10-year-old that was going through whatever mental health things that they may have went through because their mom was smoking crack at when she was pregnant with them. You also got the economic impact. You have the impact of the war on drugs that took off. I am out here. That took our fathers away from the community. And so where our young people are now as a community and as a population, we have never seen this before. And that's why, the thing of starting at home, and then we got the tier 2, the peripheral of if the things don't go through at home, you got the aunties and the uncles to be the safety net, and then then the community comes in, and then your programs and whatnot. Oh, y'all mess me up. Now I'm way out there, and I got a slight headache over my right eye, so I'm definitely getting off of here and decompress. Beaver, we can't see the emojis and stuff, so type what you put in there. Pastor Mother Sharon said, "Me too." Ratchery. First of all, the way she spelled it, ratchery. Once in a while, I need a laugh. Oh man, the Real Boston Media. Ding, ding, ding. The malnourished or frontal lobe development can't watch without trying to be it, and that not just the young people, because I said keeping up with the Joneses is us, and then this thing now is do it for the gram. So some of us too, old heads. Charlotte says she missed Dr. Brandy, football and all that other stuff. So we can get, I'll be honest, a couple of weeks ago, I thought about how we bring her back to check in. But she's so busy now doing wonderful stuff over at Higher Ground. Dr. Brandy and I saw my brother Darian on, they out there killing it. So I am Kristen Melendez is on. Good morning. Whiskey Japonis is over on Instagram. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. The Real Boston Media said, I'm going to chill. I feel like I started something. All of y'all did. Charlotte, Dina, you, Pastor Sharon. Beaver's platform is called, I knew I had something in there, The Takeover with Flo. So look that up on Facebook and go follow her. Also, while the Real Boston Media is in here, make sure you go like and follow them as well. They finally cutting the grass since May. Anyway, my brother Calvin is in the room. I love Ratchet TV, but also I love my alone time with zero input, long walks, meditation, and prayer. And so that's that balance piece that, we talk about. And Calvin, yeah, I could see you watching, right? Calvin is a troll and a half in a good way, but Calvin will troll you. Oh God, something terrible. And then he laughs and he enjoys it. Good to see you in the room. And thank you so much for your contributions to Freestyle Friday. Miss Teresa said, I taught Hansel and Gretel the double E's, the fear of God, then mom. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap up. Sharon says, every once in a while, Dr. Brandy comes on UCB Capital Boston. We'll get her in. Ratchet TV is visual cocaine. Charlotte. I mean, Sunday nights. I'm like, okay, they ain't dropped the episode yet. I'm being transparent, y'all. The Real Boston Media said I was distracted in my phone and all I heard was smoking crack and I thought I switched over to it. I'm not missing. Jesus Lord, that's how long it's been since they cut the grass. It sounds like they chopping trees out there. All right, I'm going to go out there and troll and start trouble. Calvin says Slim Jimmy preaching this morning. Beaver said Basketball Wives is my gift. Basketball Wives used to, Evelyn said it best. You are a non-mother factor. Basketball Wives used to be mine. Then I lost track, and then they got with the not as much. Calvin said we need a mix of ratchetness, ratchet and righteous. I know that's right. Dina said, can everyone please pray for my uncle GN, who was in surgery today for a brain tumor? Thank you. So, y'all know what we do. From ratchery to righteousness. Please send healing thoughts, guidance of the surgeon's hands, the nurses, the admins, the anesthesiologists. Pray for Dina's uncle GN. Now, we got good history here when we pray. So, how's Jack doing, Dina? I'm going to leave that right there. Real Boss Media said, we need a segment of Jimmy trying to read. Aaron would kill me. We need a segment of Jimmy trying to read names. Yeah, y'all would crack up. It's bad. I did smoke neck bones and lima beans, yellow rice, and okra. Thanks, Beaver, as I'm sitting here hungry. Steven, my brother from Detroit, Michigan. Did I get it right? Is in the room as well. A good brother that is married and doing things and leading things in community, doing give backs and whatnot. So it's good to see you in the room. Keep on keeping on. Peace and blessings to you as well. Share the platform out there in Detroit, brother. Tell them they got a good brother that, discusses New England things. And if y'all heard about Mayor Wu out there, that's in our city, the one that was at Congress and cussed Congress out. So help spread the word about Boston. No, I'm messing. It's good to see you, man. Dina said, I stopped watching Basketball Wives for a while and just watched this season, and I'm hooked. Jax is good, and thank everyone for the prayers. So we got evidence of getting some prayers through. Troy, why did I get Detroit, Michigan? Troy, New York. This brother I met some years ago when I worked at the National Office of Youth Build, traveling the country, planning trainings for the Youth Build grantees. Those were the good old days. The travel was amazing. Y'all know I love a good hotel and a good flight. But Stephen, good to see you in the room. All right, we're at the last comment. My mother at the very end finally she said tired earlier, so she said healing. Okay. So, Ma, if you were giving a word or you may be responding to someone and said healing, as she jumps on Instagram as well. We're going to wrap up, everyone. We will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I have a good brother who is from the community. His name on Facebook is Cuddy Wap, but he is the founder and a designer of the brand called Rich in Blood. And so he will be with us tomorrow morning. On Wednesday, we also have Uncle Thaddeus and Rochelle for Waterfront Wednesdays. And on Thursday night, we have Brother Milton and Brother Mario who are coming back to update us about their journey individually and also them together. And then also that and with many others have come together to bring the Cape Verdean community together in 3 different areas and have 3 different block parties to celebrate peace, unity, and family. And so that'll be Thursday night. Y'all wore me out today. Union Capital, y'all get 90 minutes today. Don't forget this Saturday at 10 a.m. we will go live from the world-renowned Museum of Science here in the city of Boston at 10 a.m. I will give you, Ari said that her word for today is balanced. We will be at the Museum of Science going live this Saturday at 10 a.m. So tune in as we literally broadcast from the world stage. You know, the world sits behind us there. On Saturday at 10 a.m. That's it. We will see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Please also keep the Hardaway family in prayer. Some of you may know Brother Haris Hardaway. I've known his family, his dad and his mom, Catherine, from back in the day, the Menino days. He lost his brother. Pam was a friend as well. And I reached out to him, but I wanted to ask you all publicly to also keep the Hardaway family in your prayers as they mourn and celebrate the life of their brother. All right, that's it for me. And Sharon is in the comments praying, lead, guide, and guard all attendees with her uncle during this brain surgery. In Jesus' name, amen. Mama Java said hi to Ari. And Milagro said she never watched any of them shows you mentioned. I don't find that what the way you be on here acting up. Milagro, don't start. Don't watch one thing. Don't go looking. Don't go Googling. No, leave it alone. All right. That's it, you all. That's on a good note to end, that we ended in prayer. we covered a lot today. And thank all of, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but they out there going through with that yard. Thank God, since they haven't done it since May. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Brother Cuddy Wap from Rich and Blood Apparel. Have a good day, everybody.